What it do, see son doolers? It's your boy YfgmBlogTv coming straight out of Cincinnati, Ohio. Now, what a great game five. For the most part, it was a great game five, but then it got kind of sloppy towards the end. You know, the Miami Heat. Well, I'm gonna just say this: the LeBron James put on a great performance, especially in the third quarter. This dude, you know, just basically showed why he's a four-time MVP. Now I know a lot of people are like, "Oh, you always on LeBron." No, I didn't ever said I didn't like LeBron James. He's just not my favorite player. It's just plain and simple. Okay, but you got to give credit when credit is due. This dude, if it wasn't for LeBron James going off in the third quarter, possibly the Indiana Pacers could have won this game because with his offense and then his, you know, his defensive intensity got the other team, got his teammates going and got them going on offense and defense. They look like a whole nother team in the second half. I mean, what can you say about this dude? He pretty much he scored 16 points in the third quarter. That was just 16 of his 30 points. He pretty much dominated the third quarter. He took the Pacers. It just looked like the Pacers, they got out of their game plan because first and second quarter, Pacers was doing good offensively and defensively. Second half, it just looked like the Pacers, they just pretty much just forgot what they were supposed to be doing, and that is, you know, double teaming LeBron or either making it hard for him to drive. And then he just found ways to just get the job done. I mean, he was setting up his teammates, especially Udonis Haslem. If it wasn't for Haslem contributing also, I don't know what would have happened. But you know, one of the big factors is something that I said that the Pacers cannot do, and they did this. They fell into a scoreless slump, and I said they cannot do this against the Miami Heat team. Now, just think about this, guys. If those guys wouldn't have gotten into a scoreless slump, then they would have been right in it still with the Heat, no matter what LeBron James was doing. But I mean, they didn't get nothing out of the backcourt. They just played poorly. They played poorly. Front court did their thing. They was doing their thing. But even though they was doing their thing in the first half, pretty much, second half, Miami defense stepped up. They started double teaming Hibbert. They was getting to him quick enough. Hibbert couldn't really do what he was doing in the first half. Same way for West. Paul George, he kind of got stagnant a little bit, but he was still continuing to, you know, score buckets. And I tell you what, that boy right there is going to be a problem in the future in the NBA. Because you can see, if he just gets some consistency and that fire on him, he's going to be a problem. He is going to be a problem. But, yeah, I don't know what happened with the Pacers backcourt. It was just terrible. I mean, those boys they just did terrible. Stevenson was looking like he was scared to shoot. Stevenson was the type that just looked like he was just going to dribble, and turn the ball over. That's pretty much what happened. You know, it's like he was scared of LeBron James, and I don't know why. You're supposed to go at LeBron James. Like Stevenson, he can play. He's supposed to go at LeBron James. Same with George Hill. He's supposed to go at Chalmers. Shoot threes. You know, don't be scared to play because at the end of the day, they need those two guys scoring because you had an opportunity they had an opportunity to beat the Miami Heat. I mean, the front court was dominating pretty much. You know, they was doing what they were supposed to do. They started off hot. Paul George, Roy Hibbert started off hot. West was doing this thing too. Now, you know, I don't know, you know, it's a lot of adjustment that both teams still have to make because we still had a bad performance with Dwayne Wade. You know, nobody else really for the Miami Heat got going except for Haslem. He was like the X factor because if I'm not mistaken, he made all of his shots. But who set him up for that? LeBron James. LeBron James set Udonis Haslem up to make them shots. In the Pacers defense, to me, it looked like towards the end of that third quarter, and in the beginning of the fourth, they just looked tired to me. They looked dead on defense. They didn't look like the normal defense that we come to see from the Indiana Pacers. They wasn't closing out on Udonis Haslem. They wasn't closing in on LeBron James. You know, they just didn't look right to me. And I know you guys saw this, but you know, the Miami Heat, if I'm not mistaken, in the third quarter, they outscored the Indiana Pacers what 31-3, something like that. That is terrible. They outscored the Pacers 30-10. You know, that is just terrible. You can't beat the Miami Heat doing that. It seemed like that offense just died down the stretch. I don't know what. Like I said, I know what happened. That backcourt was just terrible. You know, now in order for them to win, They're going to have to really step up in Game 6, and that's something I think the Pacers will do. They will play better at home, of course. I think that backcourt, of course, they're more comfortable at home. You know, Stevenson and George Hill and even Augustine and those other guys, they will contribute more. So, you know, I think overall it's going to be a great, great Game 6. It's going to be a dogfight. Many people are already saying the Heat is over, the Heat going to win. I still don't think so. I think that this is going to go 7. I said it was going to go 7, and then from there, who knows what's going to happen. But I just want to talk about, you know, LeBron James dominant third quarter once again. You know, like I said, James, he scored, you know, 16 points, and the Pacers, they only managed to score 13 points in the third quarter. That's just fucking terrible. That's just terrible, you know. He was 7 to 10, while the Pacers was 3 for 14. LeBron James from 3-point percentage was 2 for 4, while they was 0 for 2. He had 4 assists, and the Pacers only had 1 assist. Pacers has LeBron has 0 turnover. The Pacers had 5 turnover. That's another thing too. The Pacers, they turned the ball over too much. They looked so sloppy with the ball this game. It was terrible. You know, Stevenson, Augustine, all those guys were just turning the ball over. It's like, I don't know what happened. And this was kind of before the Pacers, I mean, the Heat started to kind of clinch up on their defense. They was just, you know, sloppy with the ball. You know, what else? I mean, what more can you say, man? Overall, that little before the third quarter started and stuff like that, or I think entering the third quarter, LeBron James on the sideline yelling at his teammates, getting them pumped up, basically telling them, "Look, if we want to win, we need to win. We need to play. I need some help." You know, and he got a little bit of help from Udonis Haslem, but most of the majority of the time, it was all LeBron James, man. Like I can't deny it was all LeBron James. But you know, James, he also added 8 rebounds and 6 assists. Haslem, you know, he made his last 8 shots on the way to a 16-point night. Chalmers scored 12. Dwayne added 10. You know, they pretty much they just took over after that. Pacers couldn't do nothing. And Paul George, he had 27 points and 11 rebounds. Got 22 points for Roy Hibbert, but only 6 rebounds. And David West only had 17 points. They didn't get double-digit rebounds. Nor did they get double-digit rebounds. The only person that was do that was Paul George. But overall, you know, it's going to be a great Game 6. I think it's going to be a great Game 6. I don't think that the Pacers are going to give up. They're going to have to really show themselves that they want to win this series. Of course, I'm going with the Indiana Pacers. And let me just break it to you down why I'm going with the Indiana Pacers, why I still feel like they can win. I mean, if they do what they was doing in games 1, 2, 3, you know, even well, not 3, but even game 4, rebound, play great defense, closing the lanes on LeBron James, get close up on the perimeter shooters, and if they can score buckets, they can win, you know. But they can't turn the ball over a lot, and it's crazy because Charles Barkley said if this team turned the ball over 15 times, they're going to lose the game. And I think they turned the ball over 18 times, and they lost the game, you know. Miami feed off of turnovers, and they didn't necessarily feed off of turnovers. It's not like they had a fast break points. It's just, you know, they pretty much scored. But, you know, they're going to have to dominate. Everybody on the Pacers are going to have to step up and play better. Hopefully George Hill, Hibbert, and West can have another great game, but the backcourt got to step up in order for the Miami Heat to win. Well, we know what's going to happen. Dwayne Wade, he has to step up, and some of those other guys have to step up. They have to knock down their threes. LeBron James, he's going to probably try to go out and have a crazy performance. You know, I said LeBron James probably will have a crazy performance, you know, but he was going to need some help at the end of the day. You know, not just, like I said, if the Pacers was able to score during that third quarter, who knows what would have happened. And they still actually had the chance to win this game, the Pacers. They cut it to 10. They actually had a chance. Then they cut it to 8. But they just couldn't score. You know, and I feel like some of them turnovers before the halftime hurt the Pacers because the Pacers should have been up at least about 12, 15 points. But they turned the ball over so many times. Now, if I'm not mistaken, probably the Birdman, he may not be, you know, in Game 6. I'm pretty sure they're going to review that play. I feel like Tyler Hansberg, you know, he shouldn't have got a technical or whatever he had got. And, you know, I feel like Chris Anderson should have been out the game. I don't know why they didn't throw him out the game. Could have been because they was in Miami. But he should have been thrown out the game because Tyler Hansberg, he didn't do nothing at all. He got pushed down. Then he got up, walked towards Birdman, and then he got pushed again. So I don't know why, you know, Chris Anderson didn't get thrown out the game. But it's crazy because in the Chicago Bulls series, we all know Muhammad, when he pushed LeBron James, he got thrown out the game. And that was in Chicago. So they're gonna look at that, and I'm pretty sure, you know, he might get suspended. But like I said, LeBron James, 16 points and has them 10 points in that third quarter. It helped out a lot, you know. And also the Pacers, they didn't really have no assists. They didn't get too many assists. It was just awful. They just played bad in the second half, going into the fourth quarter. They played bad. In order for them, like I said, they're going to have to do couple things, you know, to pretty much win this game. I mean, they shot 44% from the field, 38% from the three-point line. And the Pacers is a great three-point shooting team, but they have not been shooting threes crazy, you know, like they normally do. They great free throw shooting team, 80%. They had 33 rebounds, 17 turnovers, 32 points in the paint, 4 fast break points, only 11 assists. Um, and let's see, not LeBron James. The Heat shot 50% from the field, 38% from the three-point line, 58% from the free throw line, 32 rebounds. So they was even with rebounds this game. They didn't get dominated. They only had 10 turnovers, 19 assists, 34 points in the paint, 9 fast break points. Once again, Haslam 16, James 30 points, Bosh only 7 points, Chalmers only 12, Wade only 10. They really didn't get nothing from the bench. See, both teams really not getting too much from the bench. So, and if the way Wade keep playing, people keep thinking he's going to come out and have a 30-point game. It's not going to happen, people. Just get over it. The dude is hurt. Look at the games he's been playing. Even with this being a closeout game and they know they can go to the finals, I don't think he's going to really dominate. Like, I just really don't. He can't. It's just, I don't think it's going to happen. Only person who can dominate is LeBron James, and that's about it. West had 17 points. George had 27 points, 11 for 19, very efficient, 5 for 8 from the three-point field. Roy Hibbert, 22 points. Stevenson only 4 points. George Hill only 1 point. Bench ain't really do nothing. But yeah, man. Bigs, keep feeding the ball to the bigs, get them going, especially Roy Hibbert. Don't stop giving it to him in the in the fourth quarter or whatever. And if you get double teamed, just kick it out. Then I think they'd be all right. But let me get back to why I'm kind of rooting for the Pacers. Okay, now y'all know Lakers is my team. I don't really care about the Pacers or Miami Heat, but I just want to see the Indiana Pacers win. Well, this is why. I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. Okay, we don't have no basketball team, no NBA basketball team. Closest teams we have: Cleveland Cavaliers, Indiana Pacers. Okay, so I'm rooting for the Indiana Pacers because it's like a 30-minute drive to Indiana. It's not even that far. It's about 45-minute drive to Indiana, which is not far. So they're close to Cincinnati. South Beach, Miami, Florida is not close to Cincinnati. So I'm not rooting for them. Of course, I'm going to root for Indiana because that's close. That's like my NBA team right now. I'm going to root for them. And if they don't make it to the finals, I'm going to root for the San Antonio Spurs for the simple fact, the West, I'm a West fan. I'm not an Eastern Conference fan. I'm a West fan. Lakers on the West, I'm a West fan. Okay? There we go. Because a lot of people have been wondering, like, hey, why you want the Pacers to win so much? Yada, 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 yada. But that's why, Plus, I want to see them in the finals. I want to see a different team. I don't want to see the same team in the finals again. I told you guys that before. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it'll make a better matchup. How do y'all know that? How do y'all know that? That the Heat will make a better matchup for the Pacers? For the Spurs. What if the Spurs just whoop their ass? How y'all know the Pacers won't give the Spurs a challenge? But that's who I'm rolling with. But anyway, y'all, I'm about to get up out of here. My computer about to go dead. I left my charger at my homeboy house, Bodybag 513. I'm kind of salty because I don't even know if I'm going to be able to upload this video. I got like 60% left remaining. But the final score of this game was 90-79. Hey, LeBron James did his thing in the third quarter. Haslam did his thing in the third quarter. And we should see what's going to happen in Game 6. Like I said before, it's going to be a dogfight. It's going to be a grind. And I feel like the Pacers, they're going to find a way to force the Game 7. Then from there, we'll see what happens. Now, we know the Heat never lost 2 games back-to-back. But, shit, things are meant to happen. Records are meant to be broken, whatever the case may be. But I think both teams are going to come out and play well. And like I said, that backcourt is going to play way better than this. Come on, man. 5 points. Please. Stevenson going, I ain't really got to say too much, but anyway, y'all, hit me up on Twitter, hit me up on Facebook, check out my previous videos, comment, subscribe, favorite, like. You guys tell me, do you think the Indiana Pacers are going to, force the Game 7, or is Miami Heat going to close it out, man? Comment, subscribe, favorite, like, check out my previous video, datpiff.com, livemixtapes.com, and download MGM Graham by CJ De Niro. Deuces.